intellectual peers, we should like.
No one should want to be my debate partner. In the middle of the cross-examination, I'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're too good faith.
I'll be the worst debater ever.
You're too good faith, man. You're a good guy.
Oh my god.
Too dumb. The dummy. Forgot everything.
Yes. I'm watching it. Yeah. Oh my god.
You ready?
It's a lot of fucking raccoons.
Oh, you saw the video, yeah.
That's gold right there.
They're so adorable, the little raccoons.
They're so chubby.
Yeah.
And Santa.
Do you recognize?
Is offensive.
Do you
Is he
recognize
feeding them hot dogs?
Yeah, he's feeding them hot dogs.
Christianity.
Yes, and the God model. I call it out all the time.
And they love it. They love the hot dogs.
The more the ethics. Do you realize
Oh,
that?
the good fucking hot
Sure,
dog.
and I'll call it, and I'll grow to that. If
And
there
they're
are
pretty polite
massive
about it.
differences,
Like, when they
but
get their
when
hot
there
dogs,
are
they
massive
walk away.
differences, I'll also lay it out so that
Well,
so
look how
that
many he
we can
has.
just
That
honestly
you know.
from the
I'm
same
not
both
against
sides.
it, and that's fine. That's fine, Nargis.
It does have a big difference. Like the whole marriage, like one
How
says
do you
to
get
marry
that
them,
many
even if there's no
It
consent.
reminds me of the,
like conceded it. The
you
other
guys
doesn't
watch
have
Kitover?
marriage, right? Like you don't have to marry them to sexually.
Oh, I've
accept
started
them
watching
as
it. It's really funny.
according to tradition.
Yeah.
One
Chickens also married.
420 for how many more times to repeat
I
myself?
was
You have
so
to marry
obsessed
them,
with that show.
24, 33,
One
I
that
just looked it
shows,
up. It's
like,
an easy look up.
Every episode.
You don't have to marry them.
Just go on Google.
No. Nargis, now, Nargis, let me ask you this. In Sunni classical traditional Islamic jurisprudence, do you have to marry the
If the jurisprudence doesn't go with their primary text, then obviously something is off, right?
Oh boy.
The consensus is you don't have to marry.
Let me say it.
You can just
He
And the consensus is
But the second,
You can't do that,
what
Nargis.
makes
they hold to something called a primary scripture. If they're not following it, then perhaps you can question the consensus.
wants to make that tie, right? Look at how. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
and this
saying-
is
I'm
what
saying-
I
You're
don't
arguing with a woman. What did you expect? They don't take accountability. Like,
I
it's
don't
like,
think,
oh my
okay,
God,
like,
oh
I
my
don't
God,
think
oh
she's
my God.
arguing because she's like personally connected. I think it's just that she's thinking from religion through a scholarly perspective, not necessarily.
Looking at the outside.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, like from an
I feel
outside
like,
perspective.
hold on.
Everyone would say horrible things about even though she doesn't have no control over it.
If you take like religious courses through your university, they're gonna be like Nargis. Like I'm not gonna
What does that mean? Okay.
like they're
So you're
gonna
almost in,
think through a scholarly secular lens.
oh, I'm glad she's thinking through a scholarly secular lens. Okay, but anyway,
Looking at it,
She-
like a
it's not even a
wall.
sex. She's not
And
even
don't
sex.
be condescending and
She's not even
I am
secular.
not biased like
She's not.
you.
She's not secular.
because I have no rat in the race
She's
and I
not
have
secular.
no ownership of either
You
religion.
do, though, Nargis. You do. And look, it's not even. No, it's look. First of all, she's not secular. Thank you, Therese. And secondly,
Andrew, do you
I'm very much secular. Who the hell are you to tell me what I am? Who the hell are you telling me what I am?
We'll
In
bring
fact,
you up,
I was going to point out the part of the speech.
just hold on. So to say
He wants to tell me what I am. He doesn't
that
Mr.
these
Cora,
are,
he doesn't
to say
say
that
everything.
these are, and you said I inherited a religion. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay,
You have to
and you're
understand
doing
it.
things too. It's okay. We can both call them out. It's okay. So here's the point. That's almost like you're engaged in a genetic fallacy there, by the way. It's kind of weird. But I'll just say this. It doesn't really matter. You can look at these. And what you don't want to be doing is saying somehow with the overwhelming swath of a particular religion has been affirming, somehow that's not what they believe or what they've historically believed. If they historically believed that Muhammad, betrothed a 6-year-old and consummated at 9, you probably should say that's what Islam is held to. You don't want to do this thing where you try to modernize it and go, well, this, last however long recently, people come up with different explanations. No, let's not do that. Let's just stick with what historical Christian.
Different explanations are secular atheist academics in the field of historical critical method, right? Yeah, it does matter actually.
No, it doesn't.
Unless you're telling me that academia doesn't hold any weight.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying if that has been the historical
It's not what I'm saying.
view for the longest time, then that is the historical view.
It matters
I'm
about
dropping
the
you that.
historical view. And the reason the historical view matters, the big reason that matters, is because on the hypothesis that Islam is true, God would preserve his message, and the people that follow it would believe the message that he wants them to believe.
Exactly.
Well, so it's a very stupid thing to say that, today we just figured out that she was 19. Give me a freaking break.
It's not in the Quran. The Quran is their primary scripture.
Nargis.
You are saying something in the hadith that
in the hadith that
people have accepted no infallibility, right? You're saying that is infallible.
I'm sorry.
Because you haven't studied into the free
There's plenty of Muslims who say that you must have the hadith to understand the Quran. And
That's why we preface traditional Islam. Yeah, traditional Islam teaches that, right? Nargis.
Right. I agree with you on that.
Okay. And so if Islam is true, Nargis, it makes sense that God would preserve the message for people to understand it. And it's very stupid to do this modern thing where it's like,
the modern thing is very and how they calculated it and how they could have gone wrong. Half your stories in all three scriptures have mythological origins.
I don't care about which
all
one
of these
now.
have
Now you're trying to make some other point where you're trying to bring all three.
They're all borrowed stories.
Nargis, that's what your claim is, and we can examine your claim, and it's false. That's not what I'm going to get into right now.
My claim is false?
Yeah, all three of them are borrowed from other stories. What are you talking about?
Or refurbished and repurposed. Even the story of parting the sea.
Is that what you're going to provide the epic guilt?
Yes, I'm going to provide the evidence for you. There's a lot of academic work on it.
I dealt with the parallelism for
your scripture is not exclusive or new.
Stupid.
You did not invent the wheel, bro. These stories kept themselves in the Mesopotamian.
What's the evidence?
In the Mesopotamian.
Give me the evidence. What's
Poseidon.
Oh, Poseidon. That's where all three stories come from, right? Christianity
because you don't read, I don't think you know.
No, Nargis, don't tell me.
I'll give you the names of
Nargis. All you're doing is trying to
done studies on myths and legends.
I got you. What
and
you're trying
these
to
myths
do,
and legends keep getting refurbished over time.
You're always trying to take
over
this.
time in the history of mankind, where they have.
Where's Poseidon at? Where's Christianity take from Poseidon?
Over and over again.
You're just talking.
Talking. No, I'm not talking. I'm just saying those and academics a little bit.
Christianity takes from Poseidon. Please show me that. Go ahead.
Poseidon is the lord of the sea.
Oh, the law.
He allows for Orion to part the sea and walk on it.
Oh, yeah, and walk on the law of the sea.
Right?
Yeah.
So these stories existed.
Yeah, that's retarded.
A little refurb.
Yeah.
And you'll have Moses in it.
Embodied down right there. Yeah, the law of the sea.
Oh my God. He's the God of the sea, bro.
Jesus walked on water, and the water is like the law, and the sea from Poseidon.
Poseidon is the God.
Yeah, the God of the Poseidon water of the sea.
He grants his son Orion to walk on water.
Yeah.
You have myths like Mahabharata.
Let me throw up real quick. I'll be right back.
A lot of them, the gods blow through the sea parts. And then the archetype walks through it.
Nargis is onto something here.
Yeah, I'm going to move you down.
It's not what I'm saying, bro. It's what academia is saying.
Yeah, I don't care. Look, academia says all kinds of things like God doesn't exist and blah, 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 blah. So you can go ahead and appeal to academia. I want to hear the reasons. You tried to do this pot shot and say, oh, you don't read because I've
myths and legends have existed from time immemorial in the history of mankind.
Which scholars are you citing for this then? Because I have not heard
Nikolai Sinai.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
There's a huge list of mythicists actually.
Yeah, mythicists.
Are they classical historians? Or are they like New Testament scholars? Like, what's their specialization?
They are historians.
There we go.
They are academic historians
okay.
who work with historical critical
Poseidon.
Okay. That's fine. I'm not disputing that there are people.
In your back channel, if you want to look through it.
I'm not disputing there are critical people who say that. I just don't think this. It's not like this is a consensus position. It may be something that like Dennis McDonald has. I think some views of that.
Of course, Dennis
McDonald. It's going to be sort of considered a fringe position.
They're using a very strong critical method to analyze.
The problem I have is you're not saying this.
Hold on, Andrew. Hold on. A lot of Nargis choose that there's not really a causal connection because like first century Judaism was very much averse to a lot of sort of the pagan tropes, so they would not have like taken that very well. I'm not saying that there's not any bleed over it.
These stories were always running through the human psyche, right? From the Mesopotamian, Egyptian, Hindu, Vedic, like these have been great stories, teaching us, giving us morals and stuff like that. So it would only be natural that since trade existed, people traveled. These stories, like through some kind of Chinese whispers, travel from generation to generation, geography to geography. These would just be refurbished, repurposed by the archetype, such that it would hold some moral value for the people of the time, right?
Yeah,
and when they were told, it actually benefited and created a sense of well-being for the collective, right? Because that is exactly what the archetype always intended for his people, to create a society in which there was peace, productivity, and some moral value. That's how the academics see it.
I'm not denying that there was certainly like interconnection between religions and trade, but I don't think that the causal relationship between like first century Christianity and paganism is that strong. I mean, if anything, I think most scholars now would hold to it being more embellished by Judaism, right? Like Jesus does lots of miracles that are reminiscent of what like Elijah and Elisha and Moses do in the Old Testament. I think that connection is there. I don't really think the gospel authors had in mind Jesus replicating like Dionysus or Poseidon or something.
Much of monotheism is built on pagan principles.
Yeah, notice
you're kind of getting like five things removed now. You're saying,
can I contribute?
Based off of Zoroastrianism, based on monotheism, like it's like you have to make. It's like, okay, if you're going to say, well, from Judaism, and Judaism is from Zoroastrianism, Zoroastrianism is based off of like
from ancient Egyptian myth.
But that's fine. But that still doesn't mean that they have like that in mind. Like I don't know if most Jews had. I don't know if most Jews would be able to tell you that.
She's not a scholar. It's like finding the stories interesting, so as to repeat them, and then refurbish.
I'm just saying, I don't know if you're going to find like I seriously doubt that the gospel.
No, I don't.
Like Matthew.
She's not saying there's a subset of scholars that believe this. She's saying it is the case. She said that these three things.
I'm not saying it is the case. They give it a high probability.
No. We're going to repeat what you
said.
Historian, you said that these three traditions are drawing off previous traditions that New Testament clearly draws off Poseidon. Let me read to you the Poseidon parallel. Let get ready. Get a puke bucket so you can just listen.
It's just what I remember.
No.
I don't know if that.
The most prominent. The most prominent parallel. This is Poseidon. Just listen to this. Get a throw up bucket.
Also, why was Poseidon? Wouldn't it be Roman versions? Wouldn't it be Neptune?
Yeah, if I can
So the most prominent
parallel.
The
most prominent parallel is the demonstration of power over the chaotic sea, which was Poseidon's primary domain. Poseidon. In the Odyssey, Poseidon stirs up massive storms with his trident to impede I didn't even know how to pronounce Odysseus. I can never pronounce that word. Conversely, he has the power to instantly calm the waters to protect his favored travelers.
You got it.
Hold on. Jesus, in the calming of the storm, Jesus rebukes the wind and the sea, and there was a great calm. To the first century audience familiar with Hellenistic culture, this act signaled a level of authority previously reserved for deities like Poseidon.
It's funny too, because I don't actually think I think a better parallel is Honi the circle drawer, who's in Josephus. He's like a first century rabbi, and he what was that?
Oh, I'm just throwing up.
Honi the circle drawer.
I'm just saying that the better.
Why is Andrew so triggered?
No, I'm not even arguing, Andrew, that this is like a made-up story. I'm just saying like there was a Jewish tradition of the rabbi who like prayed for rain and it happened like instantly or something like that. Like I'm just saying if you're going to do a parallel, I think that's a more reasonable one.
How about God is the father of the weather in the weather?
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm not disputing that though. I'm not denying that happened. I'm just saying that
stupid to say that this is a response or some kind of polemic or whatever.
No, I don't think it's bad. Look, you can even find parallels, Andrew, with like Fatima, like the girl they spring the top and something like that.
Yeah.
Caleb, why is No.
point, that's how that story got developed in response to an earlier one, right? So you're both kind of right. Can we just stop being so stupid about
Thank you.
Can we just be anthropologists for a second and actually do this correctly?
Thank you for
that. All I'm saying is, Andrew, don't say anything about the history of the case either. It can be the case that there can be parallels and also that that really happened.
Yes, what's up,
They're not mutually exclusive.
What's up?
Who took the jam out of your donut?
Yeah, I'm sorry. The stuff.
No. I'm saying, why are you so?
Are you not?
What are people? No, I just put my headphones back on.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because Nargis is up here doing her nonsense. She's trying to. She's trying to say here she's cucking for Islam while saying she's not. Then she's trying to say that three traditions all draw off some narrative that are clearly mythological and they're just blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, well, give me an example. She's like, well, the New Testament with Poseidon, and then I read what is being said between Poseidon, although for some reason Frenchie thinks it's reasonable. And then I'm just like, my mind is blown. Walking on water. The ability to traverse the surface of the ocean is a specific attribute shared between the true. Really?
Yeah. Really? Think of it. I mean, if you're gonna say that, it might be off as the
ocean. No, how do
it's more similar to parting the Red Sea than it is to Poseidon, if anything.
People eat food and have people follow them. The fact that people follow them and they have disciples and eat food.
I ask you to take down the excitement level.
Andrew, calm down, my God.
I'm still not following. Is it all it's saying?
I'm absolutely disgusted by the parallel mania garbage. It's like, it's like XI or IX or whatever that bullfish guy's name on Discord. He provides a thing where, Jesus ate in the upper room with his 12 followers and there's candlelight. There was upper room and these people were eating and there's people who were following him. That's a brilliant rip-off of that. Unbelievably retarded.
It doesn't mean that they're mutually exclusive. You can have it actually happen historically.
Caleb, if I say that 4 people walked with me and I went and we there was a jousting sword fight. Okay, 4 people followed him and these 2 people were on horses and killed each other. Oh, look at the aura! Oh,
sure, I'm saying, but it's going but I think. Hold on, Andrew. Hold on. Let me just.
I will agree that the Poseidon Jesus comparison is a good try.
The idea is that's what gods do. Gods control water. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
Gods do everything, and gods do create stuff out of nothing, and gods do what?
Andrew.
Literally, this is what it says. The ability to traverse the surface of the ocean is a specific attribute shared between the two.
Moses is a better analogy. I think that Jesus by himself is the new Matthew has Jesus be the new Moses all throughout his gospel. Right? I don't think that's like figurative. I think Jesus really thought himself as the new Moses. He went out of his way to do the same miracles as Moses did to a bigger scale. There are other examples of this in history. Right? I mean, Joseph is even conscious that there was a. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not disputing that. I'm just I'm just saying Jesus goes out of his way to intentionally do the same things that some of the prophets do, just like John the Baptist tries to do that, right? By putting on the hair and doing some of the same things and saying some of the same things. There's nothing wrong with that. I think Jesus went out of his way to do a lot of the same miracles.
There's nothing wrong with that. The larger point that she's making, which I'm not even saying that there's not some strains or things that have happened historically that are copied or copied, all right? The aspects of different traditions in the Old Testament and the New. I'm not saying that, okay? What I'm saying is she then concludes, these are just all mythological. They're just making this up and they're drawing off of these traditions, which is what she was saying at the beginning. I find that to be really retarded. And besides
says all kinds of fucking nonsense.
Yeah. Well, hold on. It's do better, Bob. It's do better. Besides,
there's all kinds of.
Bob, what is wrong with you?
Homer and Iliad describe Poseidon.
I like Marcus.
Listen to this. No, let's read this. Get ready. Homeric hymns. Hold on, let me read this. Homeric hymns. And the Iliad describe Poseidon's chariot skimming across the way remains dry beneath his path. The account of Jesus walking on the Sea of Galilee, mirrors this divine stride, quote unquote,
in the Greek mindset, the ability to treat the sea as solid ground was a definitive epiphany.
Give me a puke barrel.
Let me throw up.
I need a 55-gallon drum.
That is absolutely vomitous math. That is disgusting. I'm sorry, that's disgusting.
I'm continuously surprised and likewise entertained at the kind of thing that triggers you.
I can understand why young Andrew would be triggered, because for years we're told that Christianity just stole these ideas from other places. And then you start going and reading them. I went through that myself in a time. And I was like, what the hell are these idiots talking about? They sound nothing alike. And so I can understand why a young Andrew might be wanting to puke because of it.
Isn't there a myth of another god or demigod born of a virgin, though? Isn't that another myth?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No, actually not.
There were some traditions of Moses being one version.
Not really. That was even shown to have been made up afterwards.
Really? Do you have some evidence of that? I just vaguely remember.
A lot of
it doesn't Sarah's mother get supernaturally pregnant by him. Same with Abraham's wife. It's not a virgin birth because they weren't virgins, but they still conceived.
Roman.
I know, but I'm saying I think the Jewish connection is better than the Greek connection, though. I don't think Matthew is ripping off the Jewish motifs. I'm sorry, pagan motifs.
It's not ripping off. These are just influential stories, and even the Muslims behave just like Andrew when I bring this up.
When they're writing in Greek,
just retarded.
Greeks could read it.
It's not. It's academia.
No, it's not academia retardation.
You know what? You want to hold on to your exclusivity. I'm telling you, it's not that exclusive, bro. You did not invent the wheel.
Some academia is retarded. Some academia is retarded.
Even the date of Jesus' birthday is just stolen from Christmas, with Santa Claus and reindeer and stuff.
Thank you for that, Deepak. Thank you.
There are some. No, I will say that there are some things that I think you can point to that are clear allusions to. I think the best thing you could do is the Matthew birth narrative with Herod killing the babies. That's meant to be a parallel to Moses with the Pharaoh killing the babies.
I don't mind it, but no. Caleb. That's not the problem, right? Because obviously, from a traditional Christian view, the whole text is supernatural, and there's typology and prefiguring going on that God orchestrated from the history of the creation of everything, right? From the creation of the universe. He already orchestrated that. So that's not going to be an issue. But when you start doing this thing where you're like, well, look at these different parallels from all these different Osiris, and he had 12 followers, and he was born of a virgin, and you see it's like a rib was planted in somebody's forehead, and this is absolutely garbage.
Also, Osiris was literally, we have to of his mom having sex. He was not born of a virgin.
She actually had sex with her husband's severed penis.
That just sounds just.
That's just
if you guys didn't name names, I would have thought that was the gospel.
I don't see a difference.
Yeah, it's actually quite and have sex with
me and Andrew.
I would have
give us some more puke barrels. We feel that
it's true, Andrew, because it's funny how unlike the pagan ones.
I don't even need to tell people the gospel. I can just tell them the story of Osiris, and that can get them born again because they're so common.
And Andrew, it's funny because in the Gospels, it's actually much more subtle, right? In these Greek myths, it's usually this really explicit, overly sexualized thing with them having sex with the gods. Whereas in the Gospels, it's actually very just nuanced. It's just she gets pregnant. There's no vulgar descriptions like you have in
exactly
or something. Yeah.
No, but then you read this thing. Did you guys hear this? Oh, and he was baptized. I love how people that do the parallels. The way they are so vague, and the ones that are more honest, they have to zoom out super coarse grain to make it even somewhat comparable. But if they get usually they'll get too specific, they just make it dishonest. They'll be like, well, he had 12 followers, and he was born of a virgin, and he had a resurrection, and he saved the world, or some stupid. I'm sorry. You get together. When you put these things side by side and you just read the comparisons, it is the most retarded. The best they have is maybe Osiris. Maybe it is absolutely.
This is such a retarded argument that I developed what I call the Isaiah 53 words mean words problem for atheists. Because basically the approach they take to these other myths, they should be willing to acknowledge that Jesus ripped off Isaiah 53. But they're not willing to say that. They're willing to say Isaiah 53 about the suffering servant, the nation of Israel, even though it's a dying and rising Savior and all this and that. So I point out to the low-hanging fruit atheists who will make these arguments about the myths and say, well, why don't you hold the same standard to Isaiah 53? And they'll be like, because it's clearly not about Jesus. And I say, wait a second, it's a dying and rising Savior, it's suffering, all of this and that. Why isn't it? And the only reason why is they're inconsistent. But this argument that you're talking about, well, this argument that you're talking about, this argument that you're talking about here, gave me the Isaiah 53 words mean words problem, because they'll want to say this about these other myths, but they don't want to say it about Isaiah.
Matt, do you agree though that Isaiah 53 says? Hold on, but Matt, does the figure in Isaiah 53 have children?
No.
Does it mention that he has offspring that will live on after him?
Yes.
Right. And you agree?
Which means it would have to be, and it says his death with a rich man in his death and stuff like this. So it would obviously, we can reasonably infer here, here you have a dying and rising Savior. But they don't want to say this. And no, this is about
axioms. Ancient axioms. Well, I don't disagree with Yoni. I think that men use conversation to peacock. I think it's really important.
Just
men.
I know. I've heard your theory. Women.
What's the theory? This is new. This is off the charts, my dude. What are you talking about? What's the theory?
Men use their vocal skills to select a mate, and that's all they're doing. They tell stories to select mates, right?
Peacocking, yeah. I think that men offer their intellectual wares, and women cruise by and decide whose brain is well attached and whose brain is sort of half disconnected and malformed. I think Yoni is on to something.
Jesus, right?
Jesus.
The times I really get upset. No, absolutely. And the times I really get upset is when these people go on to say things like, the live action version of The Little Mermaid was not based on the cartoon version, right? Because every pixel, the original one had pixels and it was animated, and the new one, she's black.
No, you understand the story is such great narrative foreshadowing. Any fucking Christopher Nolan script has much better narrative, sophisticated foreshadowing than the fucking Bible.
Whoa. Hey, there's some
any of them. Back to the Future had better foreshadowing. Fucking Fight Club had better foreshadowing. Memento had better foreshadowing. All of these movies do it much better.
Monica and I agree on some things, and I disagree on some things. I think Monica thinks that the Republicans should win. And I think that the Democrats need to fix themselves so that the Republicans can lose.
Sorry, that was loud.
There's a bit of overlap in that.
Here comes the once famous Alistair Crowley. What's up, Alistair Crowley?
Good morning.
Well, it's been that long. It hasn't been that long.
No.
Where's the main thing here?
Well, Trump derangement syndrome is real. And it actually, if you like philosophy, those are the things you're concerned about. And so how do you apply the teachings of various philosophies to your Trump derangement syndrome. It makes you realize just how you're hyper-polarized and hyper-political. That's really all TDS is.
I lost that. It was my Bluetooth was connecting over. What did I miss, Alistair Crowley?
Benjamin is playing his acoustical guitar as I discuss philosophy and its application to the sufferers of Trump derangement syndrome. And, you know,
I when I made the title, I half thought of you. I was like, I know for a fact John is going to come in.
For example, even the teachings of Jesus Christ, if you look at it through the lens of go within, it says that the secret source is within you, and so take it out to save yourself. And that type of philosophy is the same thing for Donald Trump. We all have a spark of divinity within us. And so people that live their lives hating Trump, in my opinion, they're mostly all atheists because they don't see the spark within themselves, and therefore they don't know that Donald Trump's got a spark. And so it's kind of pathetic in a way. At this age in your life, if you live with hate for the orange one, well, you just don't get this. You don't understand the game. It's a game, and your TDS.
That's right, John.
I don't know if you would call it the art of selfishness. Maybe you could call it that.
I'm going with the book you're holding and your PTR, the Ayn Rand stuff. And Trump is the same thing. Like, it's good to be greedy, Gordon Gekko. You know he wants to be Gordon Gekko.
I know, but see, the book by Ayn Rand, The Art of Selfishness, is a clickbait title. That's the type of room title people put together. They say selfishness is a virtue, but the whole book deals with the complication of ethics and how vast it is and how complicated it gets. So it's a good book. I'm trying to read it today. I want to try to read the whole thing within a week or two. You know, you have terrible TDS, and your rooms are TDS incubators. If you were a venture capitalist, you'd be a TDS millionaire at this point.
Well, that's not entirely fair.
Well, I probably wouldn't be a TDS millionaire. But if I were a venture capitalist, I probably already would be. So there's that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, don't quit.
I'm not insane, Monica. Monica's claiming she's not insane. Why is she having to do that?
Benjamin, I have a question for you. Do you know what the Constitution of Muhammad is?
It's called a required reading for Benjamin.
It's also known as the Charter of Medina.
Yes, required reading.
Written in 622.
That would be required reading for all K through 2.
I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you read the Charter of Medina, you will realize that Muhammad is a fraud and that his entire religion is a scam. And the Charter of Medina, or the Constitution of Muhammad.
You know, he has been coming in and.
You know what else is a scam? Your political campaign. That's what else is a scam. I'll tell you that.
That's good, Kevin. That was well timed. Well played.
We should invite T up. We haven't heard from him for a while.
DDS, you know what the real problem is? It's TDDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Anytime someone criticizes Trump, they call it Trump derangement syndrome. That's the real problem.
Kevin.
I think all of us, myself included, deserve a big old apology for the allegedly hysterical liberals in 2016 because they were right about fucking everything.
Well, Kevin, what about TDDS? I mean, I just reframed your frame and we added a D.
Check out Fred's PTR. F equals EV over DT. Oh, I get it.
You have 37 cell phones that are running a failing political career.
DT. Multiplied by.
How is it a failing political career?
F, funny little arrow.
See, some of us have goals and objectives, and we actually help the politicians we like.
Funny little V arrow, bar, line thing with a lowercase d, T thing.
Does the arrow indicate that the V and the F are vectored?
It does not. It's a one-way street. It's just a one-way street, Benjamin.
I think you're pulling you're jerking my chain.
No. The equal is actually showing you that it's a parallel line set up.
No, it looks like a runway. Yeah.
The slopes won't intersect, so the F won't intersect with the V because they're parallel lines, and so their slopes are the same as what that's trying to show you. And the see, Fred told me I got 100, and the M is like it's like for the Milky Way. If you want to use it to
Fred, I just
figure out
want to
the
look
force of the Milky
at
Way.
what the arrows are doing in that thing. I think that means the vector.
I mean, this is a one-way street only. See, they're going in the same direction.
I told you. You didn't want to listen to it.
I get that they're going in the same direction. That just means that
it just means Fred makes
the force in a particular direction is equal to the mass
volume
multiplied by the change in velocity in that same
You
direction.
guys are so atheist. It's unbelievable. This is a hermetic formula here. This is mysticism. Force equals mysticism, and then you get above and below, below and above. Hello?
This is an old form. This is just velocity. Is this change in velocity over time, right?
Velocity equals distance over time, but this is an alchemical equation for mysticism to give you the force and the power of God.
No, this is change in velocity over time, but
What is this? I'm a little lost about what this
it
formula
just
is.
Fred's PTR.
What does it mean?
It says may the force be with you, right? That's ultimately how it parses out. And instead of force, he's got the mathematical formula for force.
Oh, that's
what. So I think that's takes some time to absorb it.
So the fact that Christianity had
Flora is here. I haven't heard Flora's voice in a long time.
The world religion.
Often voters one of the most easy listening voices on Clubhouse. You should do a head-to-head compared prose voice, Flora's voice, and have a vote. We should put the vote at the top of the room.
That we have seen across the world. And they are
Meanwhile, myself and Alistair here can have the most unpleasant voice conversation.
Yeah, no, I think that's decided. That's decided already, yeah.
Look, I'm busy trying to look like I'm doing something here at my university. Don't blow my cover.
So, with regards to Trump derangement syndrome and the sufferers thereof who have lived every day of their life for multiple years thinking and talking about Donald Trump, when I think about all the Democrat, Marxist, liberal, atheist safe spaces here on this app and the countless millions of conversations that have happened regarding Donald Trump, all that wasted time and effort could have been spent reading a book and improving one's life. Instead, people force projected, just like this equation for May Day, they force their own projection.
Alistair, and then I think that you're a fine candidate for what is it again? He's running for selectman, counselor, Congress.
Oh yeah, there's that little thing called Congress.
It's unfathomable, Benjamin, how you don't know that equation. But I'm just gonna leave it there. But as much science stuff as you talk. But that being said, what's up, T? What's up, Hero? What's up, Aisha? I do love when John's in the room. I think it would be great to have a little soliloquy from him because he was just feeling the need to talk over here and he wasn't getting his attention.
Somebody was talking.
No, I had the meaning right. I just was trying to work out, like, how did the D's get in there? It's all about the D. You know what I'm saying? Just not sure what
that's what she said.
D's are doing.
That's what she said, Benjamin. You've never seen the equation that said like D over DT, like ever?
Oh man, the dV over DT is so common and old. It goes back forever.
Be guided by natural.
I'm just doing a little bit of remedial here.
That's cool.
That's fine. I'd rather have that than the chemicals we can.
You don't know. You're not telling me. You're old.
The bug red dye is like not a concern to me.
What about the pepper but vanilla?
Well, they stopped doing that a long time ago. Yeah, I got rid of that a long time.
Real vanilla is like very expensive, but it's so good.
I would eat black vanilla though.
Yeah, I think the red dye they get, like, when they grind what would be, like, the equivalent of the bug's anal gland, it, like, releases this red, sort of, it's not blood, but it's, like, another, like, bile, and that's what the red.
I don't think it's the anal gland, it's just the whole bug.
Yeah, I think they dry it out.
I'm just kidding.
The justification 75 plus years ago in order, like, you don't have to think anything about how Jews deserve to live there in the Yishuv or in 1948 or whatever in order to think that, you know, the status quo is okay as is in a certain sense. Like, maybe historically the Europeans had no right to the Americas and the Native Americans should have had everything, but enough time has passed that I think that right has essentially been voided. And I think it's not you might now the time distance is lower in the case of Israel and Palestine, so it's more arguable. In fact, there's still people alive today who before the state of Israel. So there are some
Delta qualify.
But I don't think anything Sam says commits
way around the bar.
I would have accepted Delta.
All claims of like historical redentism have to be.
I have Trump on the phone. He wants to mock you all.
Israel has used
Can I
redentist justification.
Sorry, can I just ask you a question here that may result in another implementation philosophy, Marcus Aurelius? What is the difference between irredentism, and redentism, and revanchism?
Good question. I mean, I associate revanchism as like avenging a loss or something, whereas irredentism is just like this particular territory is ours. But that may just mean I don't know if I read the actual dictionary definitions. This is just like the general connotations I've absorbed culturally through my own osmosis.
Because it seems like the only way. Yeah, I mean, they could be like subtle distinctions or like just like different tones or something, inflections, conversational inflections or something, where it's like the best place to use them. But like, technically, you'd have to have like lost the land for you. You don't need to want to claim it back in both scenarios.
So, you want to hear the Google definition of the two, or okay? Irredentism claims land based on shared ethnicity or motherland ties. Whereas revanchism focuses on taking back lost territory as revenge for military defeat, regardless of ethnic composition.
Okay, so there's like some overlap, but then there's like some clear distinct cases.
So irredentism is like when Russia tries to take Ukraine because of the idea that it's their ethnic land, whereas I guess Israel taking like Sinai would be like revanchism because it's like during a war. Hold on.
Well, no.
Back
If
it's
militarily conquered.
For defeats.
Yeah.
Taking back lost territory as revenge for military defeat.
It'd be like Alsace-Lorraine.
The paradigm case is Hitler. Post-Treaty of Versailles, the land that was taken back. The land that was taken from Germany, they reconquered. And that was seen as like this revanchist, whatever, pursuit. Alright, you live to fight another day, Mark.
But he still never is going to live down the Gariel versus Cayman blunder, the famous blunder.
I mean, your claim about which one is the Gariel, like that has yet to be confirmed. I could still, you're right.
How about Mark not knowing that there were salt Dornish?
I didn't know that, and you about the House Blackwood and House Bracken.
Yeah, that never happened.
And you claim that they have house words.
That never happened. No, just like some people don't make mistakes.
I feel like it's worse for you, Minutes, because that is your thing. Like Mark has proven to be a jack of all trades, so we can kind of forgive him like one or two missteps. But like you, like you're the guy. Like
somebody move Timothy down, please.
So, Timothy, what conclusion did you reach with Mark there?
Oh no! To be honest, I wanted because I felt like at some point I like Sam had like read the Google definitions, and then I wasn't. It wasn't clear to me. Sorry, what the distinction was. So I just thought, well, I could sometimes it's easier to ask someone rather than Google it.
Beef, what's the title about? Man or bear?
All right, so if you were a woman and you were going to be teleported to the woods, and it's either a man on the other side or a bear, which do you choose?
What woman on stage are you asking?
How many women have chosen a bear?
There's a fair number of women choose bear.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I would man. I think it's pretty, but I think there's a trick there or something, right?
There's not really a trick. The only trick that I would say is that if the bear was a panda bear, you probably should choose panda. But like, I think you should in general. If you don't know what kind of bear, you should go with man.
I thought everyone would have chosen that.
Well, I think a lot of feminist women want to signal so strongly that they hate men and think that they're vile, that they will say stupid stuff like bears are safer than men. You know, like, even though like very clearly it's very dangerous. A bear is a very dangerous animal. It's like literally a predator, will literally eat you.
This is why I was a little bit hesitant to give that. I thought, there might be some trick there that I'm getting right. Because for me, it just feels obvious in a way. Like, can it be argued that for a bear? Like, can someone make that argument? Or?
I mean,
maybe you can say like the bear isn't like a moral agent, whereas a man is, and so like. Even if a bear attacks me, he's not immoral, but if a man does, it is, right? And so, like...
You're worried about dooming the soul of the man that attacks you?
I don't mind being killed, but I want to be killed not by like a moral agent, but like...
Is that true? Would you rather be killed by... a neutral force than a moral agent?
I don't think, thinking about it right now, why would I care whether if it's a neutral force or not? I just care about my life in a way, right?
Yeah.
I think the level of pain involved, you might care about that.
Yeah. Bears will just start eating you while you're alive. They're not like... Certain animals will just bite your neck. Bears are not like that. Now, Severin, it says in the Bible that it's a great sin to have sex with a man, but it never says it's a great sin to have sex with a bear. So, if you're being on the safe side, it's like you should have sex with the bear rather than have sex with the man. If you're a man.
Yeah, actually, that's a... You can make a point there, right? Maybe.
I feel like I'm right that the Bible never explicitly says no bestiality. Like, I think it just assumes that no one would want to do that. But maybe I'm wrong about that.
I think I'm not sure if there isn't like in the Old Testament some law that talks about bestiality, or in the New Testament mentions that. I think that there are like church fathers who did mention, I think, this bestiality, whether it's a sin or not. I think they did consider it to be a sin. But I don't know if it's explicit in the texts of the Bible, though. Yeah, not sure.
they might have grouped it under like a general sort of sodomy is wrong notion, which
I mean, there is like in Leviticus 19 when God talks about all the evils that the Canaanites committed, including like having sex with donkeys, right? And actually, that was one of the reasons why God commanded to also kill the livestock alongside, the other people, the civilians, when He commanded to kill the Canaanites. Remember that there is mention also of the livestock, and it's implied that the reason is because they had sex with those livestock. Like some people had sex with them, and so I think there might be like an implication there of bestiality being like a sin or something, or an evil in the eyes of God. Anyway.
All right, Exodus 22:19 says, "Whoever lies with an animal shall be put to death."
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Are you like more of an ass guy or like a titty guy? I think that whereas breasts nourish life, and that they're like fundamentally symbolizing bringing life anew to the young, asses represent shit and filth and waste. So because of my fundamentally orientation towards civilization, I'm a tit guy. Really? So you came, like when you were born out of cycle of generation and regeneration called birth, like you came out of your mama's titties, or like came more? Well, I didn't come out of her ass. I mean, like you made her ass.
That was a very, very good point, World. You really got him there.
Like you pretty much got her ass. Like okay, maybe like a couple inches from her ass. Never mind. But I like your argument. I'm gonna steal it. My breast fetish is purely civilization sustaining. It's nothing to do with aesthetics. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm saying, what about the hips? What about the lips? Like, I like lips. I don't know. It's like a good face, honestly, over titties, too. Sam, do you think that there are any good arguments for the existence of God? Yeah, just consciousness. That's pretty much it. That's about it, right? Or something. Yeah. Maybe like some sort of idea that like a first cause type of thing. I don't know. That there had to be a necessary being or something. I'm not saying they succeed, but they're at least like you gotta consider them as like worth considering, like.
But there is a necessary being, and it's everything.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. And what about like you don't think like these teleological arguments are any good, right, Sam? No, I think the design, teleology for life is bad. I think all of them are bad. I guess. Yeah. Yeah, that's whole family, right? Yeah. My least favorite argument for God is the een. Hate the een.
What happened to that? Does that kid still come around who used to run that argument?
I haven't seen him.
The bucket hat or something.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. What about the argument for miracles? Like Ethan runs like these. You would say it, like. For sure, if miracles were real, that would be a great argument. I guess the question is just how credible are these things? Right.
Oh, wait, has he gone on that podcast yet?
Wait, what podcast? Let me see.
No, the one you told me about. The one he needs a suit for.
Oh, yeah, I think it's still, like, next week he's going to hop on there, yeah. On Pints with Aquinas, right? That was the whole, like, fundraiser thing to get him a suit.
Did you hear about that, Sam? He raised, the guy, the Capturing Christianity guy, he started a GoFundMe for Ethan to get, like, a suit. and the amount they needed to raise was like 1,000 or something, and it doubled it. They raised double the amount they required in like half the time or something.
Based.
And like
I've seen the comments on Ethan's Capturing Christianity videos. I'm like, oh my god, Ethan's a star. I'm so I can't wait to see more of this.
But he's like apparently, which I believe. Sorry, I'm not saying it like allegedly. Like apparently he's converted like loads of people from just watching that debate. And it's interesting because that debate is, it seems kind of, well, I guess if he's arguing that it's a demon, then he is just trying to falsify it. But as in, he isn't arguing that it's like there's a natural explanation of it.
Yeah, they did not argue the.
I wish he debates like an atheist on these issues. Right? They get him like an atheist debate or something.
I wonder how much money he's got, Cameron.
Well, probably not. Because Cameron's raising the money for him, so clearly, like Cameron doesn't want.
Well, yeah, but I mean, obviously Cameron is a huge grifter, and like all of his content is geared towards his grifting enterprise. So
I don't know him well enough. Like, why is he a grifter? Or like, what kind of?
He's always been a grifter, dude. I'd have to like.
What?
I said he's just always been a grifter. That's just like his MO.
I'm saying, like, is the grift like raise money for like? I don't know. What do you think the grift is?
Well, it's like for his quote unquote ministry or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's like the same way all these guys kind of grift. Like, I think like a lot of people made this case and observation at the time that like he turned the channel into Capturing Catholicism and like converted to Catholicism because like there was more money in being a Catholic.
Channels, by the way. So he's still got Capturing Christianity, and now he's got Capturing Catholicism.
No. Capturing Christianity is that channel. It's just been renamed Capturing Catholicism.
Well, I don't want to do the like. Do you want to bet? But he does have two channels.
He might have two channels, but if you look at that, if you look at the channel, wait, I don't know about this because if you look at the channel that's currently called Capturing Catholicism, and you go into like the about list there, it still says Capturing Christianity.
The Capturing Christianity channel has like 20 times the subscribers, so I'm guessing that's the original one.
Yeah, 415,000 subs, Capturing Christianity, and then the new one, Capturing Catholicism, has like less than 100,000.
Well, maybe they're linked together or something then, because I think that if you go to the Capturing, I just assumed he renamed it.
YouTube is doing that now, where you can post a video that basically is linked to two channels.
No, that is different though, because what I'm saying is if you go to the one that's called Capturing Catholicism, right? And you go to its like about page or some shit, right? There's a link that just says Capturing Christianity. So like I don't know.
Yeah, probably, but I think he does because it's far smaller subscriber count than the OG channel.
Well, that may be. I could be fucking that up, but he is a grifter though. That I'm not fucking up.
He just seems.
I remember like somebody died at one point. There was this like whole like debacle because like somebody who was involved in his ministry.
You're in the Matrix.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear what I said? I was saying like there was a time where like one of his like it was like one of his like main contributors like died, and he basically was like, now that this person's died, we're like taking a huge hit. We really need you guys to like step up to fucking replace the contributions from this guy who died. You know, kind of.
Yeah, that's intense. Also, has Nero spoken?
He has not spoken much this time. Daniel's been a bit of a ghost lately. I don't know what's up with that.
Nero's ghost.
Ooh.
I swear the last time I looked for the channel that's called Capturing Christianity, like I couldn't even find it. So I'm gonna have to dig into this.
No, I funny enough, when I saw the Ethan video, I think I spoke to someone. I said Capturing Christianity, and they corrected me, and I went and looked off the back of that, and then I found the original channel. I was like, okay, yeah, it is a different channel.
Yeah, you have now captured Catholicism and captured Christianity, right? Both of them, like these two distinct channels. They belong to the same person, right?
Capturing Christianity has 400,000 followers. Capturing Catholicism has 20,000 followers. Sully was completely wrong about this.
That's fine.
Huge embarrassing.
Yeah, I was wrong. Oh no, I was wrong. I'm gonna cry about it. You know what I like? We should make a channel called Capturing Money, or like Capturing Your Dollar.
I hope Sully has like this amazing poker face where he's like, boo-hoo, I was wrong. And then like when he comes off the app, he like smashes up his car or something like this. Infuriating.
Oh my god, I'm in the middle of fixing my car right now, dude. I just have to go pick up 2 rims. Now I'm going to get tires.
Oh, what? Are they 30s?
Dude, I was on here and when one of my tires just has had a persistent leak for a while because the rim was fucked up. So that's one of the ones that I think tires got a flat. While I was on here, I was just like, oh fuck, my tire's going flat, shit.
Yo, is it? No, he's not from Massachusetts. Where the fuck is that guy from? You know, there's that guy who's like a Marine, and he's like running for like governor or senator or something, and he's like some like no nonsense, doesn't take shit, like fuck. And he's like ginger. He has like a beard. You know what I'm talking about? Seen clips of him. He's like running for some office, and he's like a blue collar, like rugged, like calls it how he sees it, kind of guy. But he's like very critical of the Iran war. I can't remember his name, or I don't know. Wait, I thought it was Massachusetts.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Anyway, I gotta run for a minute.
You're talking about a movie, Timothy, or
no, it's some guy who's running for some.
Oh, I think you know Dan Crenshaw or something like that, right? Dan.
Let me check. Say Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, I think that's the guy.
What, you talking about the Texan?
Oh, no. I know that guy. No. That guy, he's in office already.
Yeah. Oh, the one.
There's a guy who's campaigning currently, but I just don't know for where. Yeah.
I'm a no-nonsense ginger. Do you have any questions for me?
Thoughts about the Iran war?
It doesn't seem to be going so well.
Dude, the rebranding is kind of epic, though. I don't know if you see what's happening now, but they've rebranded it to like fucking Project Freedom or something, and they're like look, we just like if Iran wants to be the aggressors, all we want to do is ferry ships to is that all of these crew members don't starve to death in the Persian Gulf, blah, blah, blah. Like you got Hegseth speaking like this meek and mild, lily-livered fucking, you know.
Well, that's smart, Timothy. Come on, you have to give it that. That's a little bit smart. The rebrand.
Well, it's just too obvious. Like it's just too. It's like if the accusation is like, oh, don't aggress against us while we're just like pursuing this humanitarian mission. And it's like, yo, dude, didn't you just like fucking say you were gonna just threaten to destroy our entire civilization like 2 weeks, literally like 2 weeks ago? Like,
you think they're gonna continue fighting?
That was 2 weeks ago.
And there is some evidence for one of them, right? It's not sufficient to say that he's the murderer. Like, let's say he was in the general vicinity. That's the only bit that says that he did it. That still counts as evidence, even if it's not sufficient to say that he's the murderer. Do you understand? It doesn't have to be convincing to still be counted as evidence.
Yeah, and the challenge is Jesus is a fictional character. So if I see a fictional character appear in the sky, I need to be questioning myself in terms of what am I actually seeing.
You're begging the question because if you hear in the sky, then you have to say, well, maybe he's not a fictional character, right?
Taste of you already said but you haven't
taking fire, trading smoke.
Yeah, but you haven't ruled out that this exists, right? You literally said there was no way to disprove that. That you are open.
Statement about God, it wasn't a statement about Jesus. I know for
she's like.
So you've ruled out the Christian.
Yes, I think it is definitely possible.
To me,
Christian God does not exist. Absolutely. That Jesus Christ never existed.
You don't think that Jesus of Nazareth, like as a historical figure, regardless of whether he was God or not, existed?
Absolutely not. Jesus, as a so-called historical character, to my mind, is not a historical character.
Interesting.
I think the whole idea of Jesus
like consensus of historians would think that
and my insight is keen as the hawk's. By my head I invoke. I am the only begotten child of my father and mother. My father is dead. My mother bore me with labor and pain and fear. By my body I invoke thee. About me shine the diamonds of radiance light and pure. By their brightness I invoke thee. None save in need of thee, O Lord. By the light I invoke. By the sign I invoke. Mine is the turban of white and gold, and mine the blue vigor of the intimate air. By my crown I invoke thee. My fingers travel on the beat in my crown of glory. By my fingers I invoke I bear the one, the double power, and the voice of the Master. Abraham, I invoke. I am the dark blue waves of music in the sun that I may no more to invoke. Crown, child, and conquering Lord. By the song I invoke. In my hand is the sword of revenge. Let it strike at my bidding. By the sword I invoke voice of the voice of the saints, the voices. Mine is the head of the man, and my inside is keen as the hawk's. By my bed I invoke labor and pain and fear. By my
diamonds of radiance, white and pure. Mine is the red none, save it be of thee, O Lord. By the Lord, mine is the garment.